Hello Sagittarius, this is your October 15th to October 31st, 2016 reading. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. I haven't located the box yet. It's a deck I've had for a long time, but I thought it was still a great deck to use, so we got that going. And for the advice cards, I have the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, which I love that deck too. So, as normal, the decks have been pre-shuffled, so let's get right to it. Okay. Double card. I get a lot of double cards. I'm starting to wonder about that. Yep, and a double card from the bottom too. Okay, that's interesting. And we're getting the bottom card pushing out here. Okay, so for your overall, I'm getting this goes with the top. Okay. All right. For your overall message for your overall energy for this time frame, we have Justice and the Page of Rods. Justice is the card that came out. The Page of Rods was at the bottom of the deck and seemed to be pushing out and wanted to reveal another card, which we'll get into in a minute. When I'm looking at this, as normal, I read based on what I'm getting from a card. The Justice card, I'm actually getting you standing by your laurels, like standing strong by what you believe in through this time frame. I feel like that's what this card is signifying, and naturally it's a major arcana, so it's something that was going to happen, something that's important to happen. The Page of Rods, Rods fire action. I do feel like this is really great for signifying you as a supportive player. A lot of times their messages, I feel like this is more action. I feel like you're very supportive action, very I said I would do, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing it by the book feel. I'm feeling like even past by the book. I really don't feel like that's the right way to put this. You're doing the right thing. You're standing by your laurels. You're doing what you said you would do. You're being a supportive player. You're following through on commitments. That's what I'm getting from this. That being said, I'm also getting the Tower card. That's what the Page of Rods was under the Page of Rods, and I feel like this is the energy that's coming from the past. I'm getting that this is more of something that happened in the past, like there was an upset in the past that kind of shook up your world a little bit, and this incident is now affecting the future that you're dealing with right now. So this is something this has been done, happened, whether it's like a divorce or an accident of sorts, or maybe some type of medical problem or some type of major argument, something like that that's happened is currently affecting your future. This is currently affecting what's going on right now. So that's how this ties in. I always find it difficult with the general reads because I always like to try to hone in and get more details. But of course, it's a general read. A lot of people watch these. A significant event, like you might, as we go forward with the reading, it might make more sense. So hopefully it does. A lot of feelings I'm getting here are like kind of like recovery time, and like the preparation for change. Kind of being turned upside down, of course. I mean, that's the Hanged Man, naturally. I'm thinking more whatever happened in the past with the Tower, the upset there, I feel like right now you're kind of like, it's kind of dulling you down a little bit at this point. Whatever it was that's affecting you now, whether it's like a divorce, a major fight verbally or otherwise, an illness in the past that really created an upset, I feel like right now you're in the recovery time of that, and you're kind of looking at things differently. You're deciding what you want to do or how you want to go. I'm actually going to flip out the advice cards, and Am I getting 2 there too? No. We're not getting anything for the environment. The environment has me curious here, though. Let's see, because... Okay. Your environment... There's only... How do I explain this? There's only one position, I should say. And there's 2 cards, but one is completely hiding the other. Now... The one on top is the Emperor, a very regimented, skilled warrior, skilled leader, planner, looks out for others and takes care of things, makes sure things are going to work out, looks out for everybody around him, that type of thing. That's what this person is showing on the outside. On the inside, though, or what may not be seen, is this person is very much in love and is putting out see, this is hidden, though. The lover aspect of him is being hidden, and I almost feel like it's going somewhere else, and I hope that's not true, but this is how I'm getting it, so I'm just gonna honor what I'm getting. Of course, always in the comments let me know, but I feel like he's one person on the outside, but I feel like it's hidden from you. I almost feel like he's philandering. That's kind of what I'm feeling. And this is a general read, so it could be if you're a male watching this, your partner, it's just whatever, your partner. This is the outside influence, the person around you that's very significant, comes off as very stately and taken care of and making sure things are done. But I feel like this person is hiding some romantic. Because I feel like for some of you it'll hit that way, not that many. I'm getting for more than not, it's a lover, and the other person is showing one thing to you, but they're doing things on the side. They're looking elsewhere for love, and that's what I'm really feeling, that they're looking elsewhere for love. I definitely try to keep my readings in a positive mindset, but it's honestly what I'm getting, and I feel like I gotta honor that. Especially since it's completely hidden by the front card. I feel like he's very much secretive about it. I feel like you're not even aware of it. I feel like he's very, very covert. For some of you, it may be a shock about who this person is actually seeing. Keep in mind, this is a general read, so if your partner is female, this could represent the female that's very together, taking care of things, shows one thing to you, and is very honorable in that sense about taking care of responsibilities, but when it comes to committing to you, they're going elsewhere, they're looking elsewhere, and there's a secret nature to it. I feel like they're looking elsewhere. I'm not seeing anyone else connected, but this is a general read. That's not true for everybody, but for the majority of you, I feel like they're just looking elsewhere. They're not committed to someone, or they don't really have another partner. I feel like they're looking, and that's what's going on. I feel like it's completely hidden to you. In some respects, I don't feel like this is a good thing. I want to try to put a positive spin on this, but I just feel like they're looking elsewhere. I think that's why I'm kind of daunting on it, because I want to believe that there's a positive spin to that, but I keep getting stopped like a brick wall, like, no, it's not good. Okay. If this situation rings true for you, keep in mind, there's been problems in the past. There's been major upsets in the past. There may have been some philandering in the past. that this does not come as a shock to you. I feel like there's been a very rocky road prior to this. Like, if you're with somebody and you're watching this reading, but it's always been good, chances are this isn't going to hit for you. Because I'm feeling like the people that this is really hitting for, where this person is looking elsewhere, there's been problems in the past. There's been definite signs and upsets in the past. Even if the situation is you got involved with this person and you were the other person for a while, if that makes sense. You were the person on the side for a little while. If that could be the connection. So just keep an eye out for that. Sometimes these people, they're very organized and good. They're good people, but they have this thing, the thrill of the hunt type feel. They have to have that little secretive side relationship. And again, this person's just looking at this point. I don't feel like there's anything they're connected to. When we were starting into this time frame, I really feel like you're trying to make the best of it. I feel like you're trying to make this relationship work, and I feel like you're going through your options. I feel like you have a romantic connection with this person. Like, you really do care, and you're taking your time making your decision on what you want to do because you care. And I feel like as this time frame comes into effect, you're getting more information that's kind of throwing you on your head. That being said, we're kind of leading into the next card based on the information you get here, which the Hangman is a major arcana card. It's leading into the Three of Staffs, Three of Rods, whichever way you want to put it. And I really feel like it's you leaving. I feel like it's you leaving based on information you have learned in this time frame. Like, I feel like you learned something. I feel like you might find something out where that person... I still don't feel like it's... I feel like it's not apparent to you what they're doing. I feel like there's other things, though, that come to light, and you're going on your way. The person around you is very much a mystery to me. Because I think there's a lot of different ways this is playing out. But I feel like in some instances, they're just playing like they're a really good person, but they're really not, and you know better. I feel like in other instances, they are actually a good person, but they just have bad habits and just this... They're giving up. It's a sense I'm getting. Okay. As we go forward from this card, where I really do feel like you're moving on. I feel like you're trying, and I feel like the reason you're moving on is standing by your laurels and making decisions based on it. I feel like you're not willing to be second fiddle, and you're feeling like it. I feel like you also, if this is a situation where for a little while you were the person on the side and you became the main person, I feel like you're recognizing that, if that's the case, and you're seeing this as goes around comes around. And I think that's why we're kind of going into the Ten of Swords, which is typically kind of a brutal card, as you might be able to see. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. I mean, it's a pretty brutal card. And I feel like if this is goes around comes around, for some of you, I feel like that's how you're looking at it at this point. I feel like that's... You just kind of feel like, I did this to myself. You're kind of having that moment, like, I did this to myself. I kind of asked for it. I knew this was going to happen to me. I mean, you kind of saw the person they were in the beginning, but you wanted to believe the best, and you just kind of, took that leap of faith, gave him a chance, her a chance, whoever, and now that it's kind of flipped, you're just kind of like, how could I not know? Or, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a lot of it. In some senses, and for some of you, I do feel like when the person around you is coming off very dignified and well organized and has things together, I almost feel like there's a little belittling there and a little berating, whatever you want to call it, where they're kind of like, I don't feel like they're verbally like saying nasty things or like put downs, but I feel like the way they're saying things and the way they're positioning things, it makes you feel less than, and it's kind of weighing on you, and I think almost in some cases you're feeling like it's your fault that it didn't work out. I'm not really feeling like it's your fault. I feel like this person is almost sometimes, depending on how this relationship is working out for you, they're trying to make you feel like you're the one that gave up and you're the one who decided it was over, and they're just like honoring what you want because you decided to go. I don't feel like that's fair, though. I feel like there's definite reasons beyond that, and like I said, this person is hiding what they're really doing. They're already looking other places for love, and they're just trying to make sure they just want you to take the blame, basically. They want to look like they're the ones who are perfect and that it's not their fault, but they have equal ownership in this situation. Your advice for this time is to be very careful of your thoughts. Psychic protection, like sometimes, like if you feel belittled or you feel like you're under attack by other people, it can kind of get the best of you. I am a person that's very open to prayer. I also am a person very open to doing my own visualizations for protection. I would suggest one of the visualizations I have heard of that works for me. If you visualize like a bubble around you, kind of like, I know this sounds a little hokey. If you remember Wizard of Oz, if you've ever seen it, and Glinda the Good Witch comes in this little bubble, she kind of floats down in this little bubble. If you think of that kind of bubble but mirrored on the outside, so like everything coming at you that's negative bounces away, but anything good and loving comes through and nourishes you, like visualizing yourself in that bubble may help you. Cleansing yourself in a white light. Always pray. I'm a person that believes in prayer. If you don't, that's cool. I'm just saying I do. I pray to your angels or however you pray for assistance and help when these moments happen. That way it's a little easier on you. It's going to kind of depend on you how long that lasts. It's going to depend also on the situation naturally. Because especially if it's like some type of situation where you have to divvy up assets or anything in that sense, it may go on for a few months. But that's the best advice I can give you, is just to like pray, do those visualizations I mentioned, and then just try to keep yourself in a positive mindset. And keep in mind, I'm not getting that it's all your fault. I'm just getting that it might be a come around. Goes around. I also feel like in some cases this person is just purposely making you feel like it's your fault, and it's really not. It depends on your situation. I have two different ways this is playing out. One, the person is just really a jerk, and and they're just kind of trying to make you take all the blame and just acting like it's all your fault. And in fact, they may even believe it's all your fault because they're very narcissistic, depending on how this fits for you. In other cases, I feel like there is a good person. The person isn't a bad person, they're just very caught up in their own mental warp, I should say. And they just refuse, they just can't believe that it's their fault. They just don't want to believe it's their fault. They just don't want to see it. But they're hiding what they're doing. They're already decided to move on. And if it's the good person, like the good person version, I feel like they have this negative or bad cycle where they have to have that little thrill about having someone on the side. It's like a little thrill for them, and it just kind of, if that's the type that you're dealing with, it's not the first time. It's not really anywhere near the first time they've done this. It's just kind of how they play through life, just so you're aware of it. So the overall read for you, Sagittarius, I have you standing towards your laurels and moving forward based on that. In the beginning here, I feel like a major upset from the past is coming into effect. You're thinking things over. You're trying to take your time and really think things over. I feel like you really care about this person, and you really are invested in them, and you want it to work out. You're trying to find ways for it to work out. I almost feel like when you're in this time frame of trying to find ways for it to work out, other things come to light, and you realize, you know what, this isn't going to work out. It's just not. But I do feel like you're trying. Although you do try, you find things that just, or I don't know, there might be a conversation or a verbal argument that you just decide, you know what, it's not going to work. And I do feel like you leave. Or one of you at least leaves, but I think it's you. In most cases, it's you, the Sagittarian I see leaving. After you do so, I do feel like you're going to have some upset. Depending on how the past played out, If you were the second fiddle at one point, the person on the side, and became the major person afterwards, I feel like you're going to look at the situation like, how did I not know this was going to happen? In other situations, I feel like the person you're breaking up with, or has broken up with you, however that happens, is making you feel like it's your fault and trying to get you to take the blame for the whole situation, and I don't think that's fair. The other person owns at least half of it. At least. It's going to depend on your situation. I do feel in some situations they own pretty much all of it. And if it's that situation where there's a very few situations where the person is really just not a good person, they're just really rotten, then I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. I think they're just trying to make you feel bad like you gave up, and it's not worth it. I would just try to protect yourself, do those visualizations, prayer, if you're into it, and keep going that way. I do feel like this will kind of subside once any assets or connections that you used to keep together, if you live together in any sense, or if you, if there's anything that you had connected together. I feel like a while after that's been settled, maybe a month or two after it's been settled, you'll be fine and moving on. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry. If you would like to comment below, I'd love to hear how this affected you. If you'd like a reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.